Good morning. Let's check on the channel, shall we? Oh, would you look at that? The Sonic 3 video was 10 months ago! What?! Actually, it was 11 months now, because I can't keep the motivation to make videos for some stupid reason. Okay, enjoy. Bye. But this is much easier to do. Knuckles, I'll save for another video. Oh God! Oh Jesus! Oh, I gotta make the part 2 before. Knock, knock, it's Knuckles. Oh God! Oh no! No! Please! What is Knuckles 3 and Knuckles? It's literally just Sonic 3, but you play as Knuckles. That's about it, honestly. I don't really know why I hyped it up that much. I mean, I guess there are some key differences, like entirely different routes, a completely different gameplay style, and a kinda new story. Wait a minute. Also, throughout this video, I'll be doing random little echidnas lay eggs. You thought platypuses were the only platypuses were the only egg-laying mammals? Think again. Knuckles lays eggs, 2 legs. I'm just keeping this in. One thing that I like about Knuckles is that he almost has an entirely different moveset than Sonic. Of course, he can still jump and spin dash and roll, I guess, but his running speed is significantly slower and his jump is shorter. He also has the ability to glide, climb, and punch objects that were previously unbreakable to Sonic or Tails. There's no difference. They're literally the same, all 14 of them. You still need the Chaos and Super Emeralds for the good ending of the game, and Super and Hyper Knuckles, obviously. I just kinda wish that they made new stages to spice things up a bit. When frightened, echidnas curl up into a ball. That's crazy! Knuckles can curl up in a ball here too! This game is so realistic. Knuckles' story takes place sometime after the events of Sonic's. Not really sure when, so we'll just say a few weeks or so. Knuckles is chilling on Angel Island, you know, as he does, when he gets bombed by Egg Robo. He gets up and swears vengeance and chases him all around the island. The Egg Robo also replaces Eggman in every boss fight, except Flying Battery Zone, but Sonic 3 Air fixes that. Angel Island Zone Act 1 is slightly different. It starts you up high, but if you walk around for a bit, you're able to find your way down to the start of Sonic's section. Like Sonic's Run, the forest gets burned. Unlike Sonic's Run, near the end of the act, there's a breakable wall that's only accessible to Knuckles. Going through here leads you to a new boss arena with the same boss as before. Act 2 is entirely different other than the boss. You're in this cave area that's littered with spikes and hazards, along with terrain designed around Knuckles' ability to climb and glide. This is also where I learned that I'm awful at this game. The second boss is the exact same too, so let's skip it. Since Knuckles isn't here to break the bridge Knuckles is standing on, Knuckles jumps off himself and falls down to the echidna's maximum speed is 2.3 kilometers per hour. Slow bitch. Hydrocity Zone is basically the same until Act 2. Since, once again, Knuckles can't troll himself, he breaks the wall next to where Sonic fell into the boss arena. Behind it, there's more terrain designed around Knuckles. This is how it always is, just extra areas designed to utilize Knuckles climbing and gliding. Eventually you'll run into the boss room, which I'd say is the same, but really it's significantly harder due to Knuckles' lower jump height and lack of insta-shield. Defeating the boss gives you the same zone transition as before, getting shot up to... No Act 1 differences, I'm pretty sure. Act 2 is mostly the same up until this head that Knuckles is unable to destroy because of his inferior jump height. Instead, you have to climb a wall from a bit earlier in the act. Following this path leads you to the boss, and this boss is actually different. It's crazy! He's kinda stupid though. He uses some grapply thing to get around the arena, and he's pretty easy to dodge, and of course, I didn't have any trouble with him at all. The level transition is also really boring, he just walks to the end of the screen. The echidna's body temperature is the second lowest out of all mammals. I don't know what this really does for them, I just thought it was kinda neat. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this zone is entirely different. Like, the same set pieces and enemies and whatnot, but I'm like 90% sure that the zone is entirely different from Sonic's Carnival Night. This one has a bunch of breakable walls and floors, but it's way shorter. It only took me about a minute and 40 seconds to get to the mini-boss, which is exactly the same, of course. Act 2 starts out super fast, and it's super fun, and oh, it's done. Like, what? There wasn't a boss. I encountered like a grand total of 4 enemies. Trust me, I fucking counted. Did I miss something? Was I not supposed to get warped to the end of the level? I actually have no idea. I didn't know this was a thing, and I don't remember this from any of my other playthroughs. I even looked up a YouTube video of the zone, and yep, it's supposed to be like this, so... Anyway, here's this weird warp thingy that takes you right to... Act 1 is pretty much the same, with the only 2 major differences being that the snowboarding section is completely gone and the boss is now underground. Because of this, Act 2 now begins underground. Level gimmicks are basically the same: ice, breakable stuff, penguins, etc. There are some water sections that were in Sonic's act, but are now more prominent here, though they don't really cause much of a problem. Near the end of the act, Knuckles' path does converge with Sonic's and the boss fight is exactly the same. Anyway, transition is the same again, just the tunnel straight to... Echidnas don't have teeth, but they do have a 15-centimeter tongue that lets them slurp up ants, worms, and insect larvae. In fact, the echidna's scientific name, tuberculosis, I'm not gonna fucking try to pronounce this because I have no idea, but it means fast tongue. Neato. There's no death egg in the background of Act 1, and besides that, I think there's no differences aside from the boss. To get to the boss, you're led into a pit, which you have to climb out of course, and after you reach the top, you find the entrance to a factory with a collapsing floor. When I landed, this thing happened where I slid across the floor at light speed, and it was really weird, and I was never able to replicate it again. The boss is the same as Sonic's, except now there's 2 of them, and I died and had to restart the act all over again, god damn it. Act 2 once again has a different, and now significantly uglier, background. The level layout is also different, but contains the same gimmicks, so who really cares? The boss arena is now some pipes similar to the rest of the stage, instead of the platform under the death egg, since again, the death egg no longer exists. The 2 bosses here are the same: weird laser guy and big arm. No ball shooter though, I completely forgot about him. The egg robot drops a bomb, blowing up the launch base zone and sending Knuckles all the way down to... Echidnas are good swimmers. They're sometimes seen swimming across rivers, and they usually use their snouts as snorkels. Maybe I'm an echidna. Oh god! Oh god! Similar to Sonic's playthrough, if you have all 7 Chaos Emeralds at this point in the game, you'll be able to access the Super Emeralds, and once again, collecting all 7 Super Emeralds grants you access to the Hyper Form. Mushroom Hill's layout is probably the most different of any of the stages in this game, except for maybe Lava Reef, but we'll talk about that later. The layout seems more catered to Knuckles, probably because in Sonic and Knuckles alone this is the first stage, so maybe it's to get the player used to his playstyle. I don't really know. The mini-boss is the same, Act 2 is pretty much entirely the same except for a few different routes, and the boss is the same. On to... This isn't different at all. Literally, I don't think there's any layout differences, no alternative routes, no boss changes. I believe this is exactly the same. I could have missed something, but I kinda doubt it. So, let's move on to... Like the last stage, Act 1 isn't different. Same boss, same layout, all that jazz. Act 2 is mostly the same until the end. It puts you in a room where you have to push some blocks and pull some levers to keep the falling gate open. But besides that, the rest of the stage is the same. The boss is the exact same, hit it a bunch till it dies, and the level transition has Knuckles walking off into Lava Reef instead of falling in like a bozo. Can you hold an echidna? No. They don't like it, and they also don't like you. They hate you, and you should feel bad because of it. Oh boy, this zone is very different. I already mentioned that earlier, but it's very, I should say it again because it's very different. I don't think that Act 1 has any similar areas to Sonic's other than the boss. It felt a lot more compact and straightforward than most of the other levels, which, to be honest, isn't bad, just a little bit different. Act 2 starts the same, but diverges about 30 seconds into the zone to another cool Knuckles exclusive area. It felt like I was climbing through secret parts of the factory, with all the tubes and breakable walls. It was neat. You eventually led to the bridge where Knuckles originally trolled Sonic, but since no trolling is needed, you're allowed to move past this, leading you into Hidden Palace without a boss fight. Thank God. This was a very brief stage. It lasted only 12 seconds, and literally the only thing in it was a warp to Sky Sanctuary Zone. Echidnas don't have nipples. So, this comic by Tyson Hess is inaccurate. I'm sorry, everyone. Welcome to the Sky Sanctuary. We have a great view of the mysterious Angel Island, which is falling again. Someone must have stolen the Master Emerald again. The Egg Robo and Eggman's floating car thing picks up Knuckles and takes him to Mecha Sonic. In an attempt to kill Knuckles, Mecha Sonic accidentally destroys Eggman's floating car thing. No! He's been with us since the beginning. All this time. And now, he's gone. The Mecha Sonic boss fight is actually the same as Sonic's, except now it has a second phase. Mecha Sonic slides back and jumps on the Master Emerald, which he uses to power up into a super form of sorts. This boss is now completely invulnerable and has a whole new set of attacks, including a ram attack, spin attack, and an attack where he fires 3 energy balls at you. For some reason, this attack drains his super form, which gives you a window to attack. After a couple of hits, he completely switches his set of attacks again. Now, while flying around, he sometimes shoots his destructive ring projectiles and for some reason randomly loses power, which gives you a window of time to attack. After landing the final hit, the arena begins to explode. Lucky for Knuckles, he's able to turn into Hyper Knuckles and is saved by Sonic at the last second, sealing their bond forever. They return the Master Emerald to its rightful place on Angel Island, and it begins its ascension back into the heavens. Knuckles 3 Knuckles is great. It's just Sonic 3 Knuckles, but you know, slightly different. Enough has changed to make replaying the game as enjoyable as the first time, or for me, probably like the billionth, but who's counting? The fast-paced action and platforming holds up surprisingly well, the bosses are mostly fun. I highly recommend you play it, especially if you have it on Steam, since you can add Sonic 3 Air to it and play the definitive version, currently at least. I don't know how Origins is gonna be. Maybe it'll be better, maybe it'll be worse, who knows. Finally! I finished playing and kinda reviewing every classic Sonic game. I'm free! I'm finally free! Yeah, I'm gonna cover the other Sonic games and probably even other games from other series too. Because I don't know. I feel like it, I guess. Fuck. Well, let's end this era with the final. Did you know that echidnas have a 4-headed penis? That's good. I like that. We done. Bye bye.